Exactly, because you're in this bubble. You're in a bubble. You're in a bubble in your own little world. Yes, you are. You're in your. No, I. That's why I'm giving you. I'm giving you. No, listen. I'm giving you examples. I'm giving. Exactly.
I just gave an example and you don't want to listen, so how do I listen?
What is your example? Your example.
I just gave you an example.
Which was?
I'm not repeating myself.
Exactly. So repeat it to everybody else.
No.
Milan, your example was. Yeah, you shut down.
Now you shut down.
You ain't shutting me down because I'm waiting. We're waiting for your point, but you have no point.
Shut up. Let's let him talk.
Welcome back to the African Millennials.
Hi.
Hey.
Everyone's here. Okay, so today we have a really controversial, juicy topic, and we're going to let Shabazz read the card out.
You good? At your big age. At your big age. You can't even pick up the card. Wow.
What does it say?
Dear African Millennials, is the baby mama side chick phenomenon a black thing? Beverly from Brooklyn.
Beverly from Brooklyn.
That name don't sound. It don't sound like it go together. Beverly's mad. Beverly and Brooklyn. Beverly's mad. You from Williamsburg, aren't you?
It's like it's no shade to Beverly, but like I hate this question because I feel like it comes from a place of just like constant society sort of like tying black people with all these like false negative things. And it's like I'm not saying that. First of all, let me be clear. I think that side chick, the terms side chick and baby mama do stem from the black community. Yeah. They are different, definitely different things, but I do think they stem from the black community because I often think that black people turn trauma or inconveniences or issues in general into some sort of comedy. Like, you know, that's just how we deal with our pain. Right. So there's truth to that. But I would say that the baby mama side chick thing goes across all the races. There's no, you can't just say that it's a black person thing. That's
right. You know why it seems big in the black community? It's like you said, we talk about it the loudest. We express all our problems. Other races and cultures keep whatever they're going through. They keep it inside. So when we make
it's a shame thing. It's a shame thing.
What do you mean?
For people that are
outside
of the black community, they'd rather hide it out of shame. Like.
I agree with that.
Throughout history, it's not like people didn't have kids out of wedlock. They would just
hide it.
No, not even. Sometimes they wouldn't hide it. Sometimes they would just that person would become the if it was a child born out of wedlock, it would become like somebody else's daughter or somebody else's sister. They would just reintegrate into the family later. Oh, this is your cousin from somewhere else. Because that kid, even though that's your dad's kid, they grew up somewhere else, they were raised somewhere else, but now that they're of age, now they're coming back to reintegrate into your family as your cousin. So you live the rest of your life not knowing that that's your actual blood sister because of the shame that it would bring to your family if they knew that your father, who could be of any social standing, had a kid outside of wedlock and could have brought shame to your family.
Some cultures, a baby can automatically, as soon as somebody becomes pregnant, the people will jump into marriage. I think it just so happens that most times it doesn't happen like that in the black community, even though baby moms is not, subjective to just black people, but other people have those, and I think, like you said, it's us being loud about it.
But also, just in general, I think that marriage has been an institution that's discluded black people for a long time. Like, marriage was built in a sense where it's like in earlier years
you had to get married.
I mean, yes, but you had to take on the liberty of getting married yourself. Like you were jumping over the broom, you were
about
having a
the milk
representation.
Charles?
I'm talking about slavery.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking about
okay.
slavery. I'm saying that it's an
weren't
institution where it's
allowed
like
to
we weren't allowed to get married in order to have those rights. It was an institution that applied to white people. They were allowed to get married and all that. So black people just took it upon themselves to jump over the broom as a representation. Black Americans, yes.
Because I'm about to say, Africa's been.
Yes, specific.
Africans taught everybody how to get married.
But baby mama and side chick is a very American ideology. So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying that
The concept,
Western.
is very Western. Yes.
It's very
But
Western.
The practice
But even
isn't.
I feel like the word itself was derived, like I think from a Jamaican.
It sounds. It's
No, baby mama. The actual term, like
baby
I feel
mama.
like the thing about it being a black thing, like obviously every race has baby mamas, every race has side chicks. But I feel like the reason why it's so connected to the black culture is because black people have like black people talk about it in society. Like how many raps, how many songs have been talked about baby mama? Like we perpetuate it, like we perpetuate it the most. And like even going back to slavery, like slave breeding was a thing. Like slave masters, in order to save money, encourage people that may not even be in relationships to have sex so they can reproduce.
But
like
baby mama is like that's like a newer term. Like baby mama is like a late 80s, 90s.
Right, but even if it's a newer term, it has been happening. It's just a new name to it. It's just a new title to what's already been happening for a long time.
It's not a black thing.
The actual idea of baby.
It's rooted. It's
that's
more
like
rooted.
Forced breeding and baby mom is a little bit different. Baby
No,
mom
it's
has a
not, because
it has a
when you-
negative
because-
connotation when you say
And
baby
forced
mom.
breeding
It's
doesn't?
meant to be like
But it's-
like even nowadays it's like, all right, you got your girl who you got. If you have a wife with a kid, that's one thing. You have even people now you address it as
Side
the
chicks were
mother of my
called
child.
concubines at one point.
You have the mother of my child and my baby
They
mom.
still are.
Baby mom is like we don't get along. Like that's literally just my baby's mother.
But a baby mama is a child. A
This
baby
mother
mama
of child-
is a
mother of my
woman.
child.
No, baby mama is a woman that was good enough for you to have kids with, but not good enough for you to wife. Right or wrong?
No,
okay.
It didn't work out.
Things don't work out.
In terms
A
of
woman can choose to be a baby
terminology,
mom.
in terms of terminology, he says mother of my child and baby mama.
That's different.
Exactly. So what's the difference?
Well, when I hear baby mama, it sounds bad, but I think of a unwed woman of color that has 1, 2, 3, 4 kids from maybe multiple partners.
People that have like the utmost respect, they'll address it. They won't call their baby. They won't be like, "Oh, that's my being, that's my baby mom." That's a negative thing. Like in society, that's how we address it. Like, "Oh, that's just my baby mom." We usually beefing. That's my baby daddy, etc. Women
Who
use baby
uses
daddy
those?
as
Who uses baby moms?
I think to elaborate on that point, I think it's a disenfranchised thing. I don't really think it's a thing about color. I think people that are less fortunate, poor, are the people that lower income, are the people that have baby mamas and go through all of that.
No.
I don't know if I agree with that. Look at this lady with all of her kids. Like, you think she's doing well for herself? Okay, there are men with lots of money with baby moms. I don't think
a lot of actors got baby moms.
Look
Right?
at all these celebrities, rappers, basketball
Yes.
players.
I don't
Look
think
at
it's
Betty
class
Wap.
related.
All these people that have baby moms.
He has like 10 baby moms.
Could it be that the word baby mom just came from a lazy term, or was just a slang, and then it just been turned,
Slang derived from which?
but it been turned into something though. Like you have to understand, language and slangs have always been turned into the worst or the best.
Right. And I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, but at the end of the what song was it? Like Fantasia, Baby Mama, or there was a song by Outkast that's like this goes out to Baby Mama. Sometimes people
Miss
use
Jackson,
it as Miss Jackson. People use it as a now people have turned Baby Mama into like a badge of honor because it's been so like looked down upon.
That's true.
So I'm not saying that it's bad or good. Like at the end of the day, there are baby moms out there. But I'm saying, where did it stem from?
Well, it's not so much that stemming from. It's like, well, is it only black? It's like,
I didn't say it was only black.
I'm saying
I didn't say it was
No, that's
only
a
black.
The question is it only
It's
black?
just common
Here you
in
go.
the black
Here you
community.
go.
It's
No,
just
it's not.
common because let's see, most people, most black women that have children with black men only end up being the baby mom because maybe their spouses or their black boyfriends end up it's historical.
Real quick.
End up in
said I'm not a pot.
End up either being shot or end up in jail. So which leaves them to be a baby mama. It's not like by their choice. Sometimes it's not
Sometimes it's not by their choice.
No, it's not by
really
their
not,
choice. It's
yeah.
not like
Yeah, that's a point.
Sometimes it just
Exactly.
happens. It
It
just
would never
happens.
be.
But
Yeah, but
it's
not-
just common in the black community that most
It is more,
men
yeah.
end up in jail and leaving the mother of their kids.
To be,
But let me be clear.
Or some
But are
cities,
you-
they
are
just
you-
decide to leave on their own. But like, I feel like that's with any man. If he just doesn't want to take responsibility, he's not going to take responsibility.
But he will
regardless
still take care- he will still take care of the kid, though.
regardless
He'll
of
still-
color.
them still-
No,
Not
some of
always.
them.
No, I said
let me
there's cases where
put
they'll
this out
still
there.
take care of the
Let me
kids,
put
even though they
this
don't
out
want to be
there.
with the woman, though.
Let me put this out there.
But she's
Like,
still a baby mama, though.
statistically speaking,
regardless of color.
statistically speaking, not only are like black children being born the most to unmarried families, more than any other race, but they're being brought up in more fatherless homes
That's
than
not
any
true.
other race.
That's not true.
Over 57% of black children growing up in America have their fathers absent, and that's like the most recent data from the U.S. Bureau of Statistics from 2012.
Show me.
Let me
What, black
no.
How does
Statistically,
that-
statistically speaking,
Like-
yes, unmarried is I don't discount that, but unmarried does not mean that these fathers are not
I
necessarily
didn't say it
in
was
their
the same
lives.
number though.
You said-
I didn't say it
But
was
what
the
I'm
same
saying,
number.
but
I didn't say it was the same percentage, but it's higher in black communities than any other race.
Unmarried, but that's what I'm saying. Let's be clear, like because unmarried. Sometimes I think that specific statistic is used to imply that because you're
You're
saying
not married.
you're not married, that
So
these
the
kids are
man
not having
is
their
there.
father is
And
not
I did
there.
not say that. I did not
She's
say
not saying
that.
that's
I did not say that.
The statistic is pointing that
Both
out.
statistics are true.
But that
the
statistic should
unmarried
really have
part,
nothing to do with the
but-
parenting.
But that's what. Yes, it is. Yes,
No,
it
it
does.
shouldn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Go
it does.
parent.
No, it
But
doesn't.
Go parent.
Yes,
Wait,
yes.
are you
And
guys
they'll be living
understanding?
together.
Wait,
as
hold on.
well.
I need you guys to understand what I'm saying. One statistic is more black children are being brought up in unmarried homes.
And what's- yeah, okay. Let's
that's,
hold up.
That's
Just
like
stop.
72.
Just-
That was like 72% or something. And then the other one was fatherless homes is 50-something%.
Okay.
It's not the
But
same
but-
percentage.
but
It's
To
not
break-
the
I
same
wanna-
percentage,
I wanna
but
break
it's
down the
higher-
first point.
But it's higher in the black community
Okay,
than
but
any
not
other
second
race.
statistic.
It's not.
It is.
The second statistic is not. I studied it.
So how
So
you
then,
know?
so don't say that
It's
it
not-
is.
it's
I
reality.
went and I read this.
And I didn't know.
The statistic in terms of the black families, in fact, out of all of the races, in terms of black father involvement, it's the highest in black men. But the way that we word our statistics will lead you to believe that that's
the
not
opposite.
true.
Do not quote me. However, I've done quite a bit of research on this particular topic, especially because it bothers me a lot that the way that we see black men portrayed within numbers typically tries to imply that black men are not involved in their families. And don't get me wrong, we do have a bit of struggle with that. A lot of our black men are incarcerated, or there might be health issues, et cetera, et cetera. There are numerous reasons why they might lack involvement in their family. However, my problem is when we try to say that black men over all the other races are not involved in their families. Like that's not true.
Yes.
Because when you say marriage,
I'm not
Wait.
saying-
Take
and
for
even-
example, when you say marriage, just because a couple isn't married doesn't mean they're not together. They're not coexisting.
and there's no point for that statistic.
Like
because all
for
you're doing is
example, because
pushing
I
an
remember,
agenda.
Yes.
I remember Jarrell
Yes.
said her parents have never been married, right? But they raised you to. Their father was there, your mother was.
Together.
Everybody was there. They just weren't married.
But
And
what would that, what
by
would
putting
that
that-
refer her mama? She's
Because
not
by
gonna say my
putting-
wife. It's gonna say the
mother of my
baby
child.
mama
The mother of my child.
Or my
No.
partner.
No.
My
No.
partner.
No.
No.
Or my partner.
Listen, you know what y'all get wrong. Not every race
So
says
let's
baby
define
mom,
baby
though.
mama.
Yeah.
Let's define baby mama.
The mother of my child.
Okay.
What is baby mama?
No,
A baby mama
In
is
Liberia,
it's
they're-
like
that's
it's like
that's
a
what I'm
slang.
saying.
Like it's a difference than like just
It's
saying,
more
oh, my
derogatory.
side chick. Saying, oh, this person is a side chick
It
and this
is.
person is a mistress, even though it's the same role, it's two different things. You get what I'm saying? Or saying, oh, I have a wife and a girlfriend. It's just, okay. It's not saying that.
But the meaning, hold on, why is it two different? Because the meaning both comes down to the same thing.
The distinction has to be drawn, I think, in the terms of saying that maybe the terminology might be true to black culture, etc., but the actual meaning behind them is not black. It's not true to us.
It's like saying when a person is white in this country, they have mental illness, right? When a person's black, they're crazy. When a person is of color in this country, they're a drunk, right? But when a person is white, they're an alcoholic. There are certain terms that are attributed to certain, groups of people, especially in this country. And there's there are agendas that are behind these names. So when you hear baby mama, of course, you're going to automatically assume this is a person of color.
No.
Yes.
Well, my boy has a baby mama. That's a white baby mama.
Whenever I hear baby mama,
I hear white people say baby mamas.
When I hear baby mama, I think person of color. I may not necessarily think black, but I do think person of color.
At least one of them is black.
So that's
at least one of them is.
I'm not saying it's a black thing.
At least one of them is black.
I'm not saying it's a black thing. But when the word baby mama is used to describe the mother of a child that may not be married, that may not have the dad around, when the term baby mama is used, there's a connotation that it's a person of color.
Okay, so let's just say that the term baby mama, maybe the term itself is a black thing, but the actual role is not. It's
all right,
not.
but let me ask Tsunami. I want to ask Tsunami something. Why?
I know a lot.
Tsunami.
Baby mama's Ebonics, so who else? Like, what else?
No, but I want to know.
But I know white people that consider themselves to be baby mamas.
You can refer to a white woman as a baby mama.
You can still refer to a woman.
The whole baby mama issue is a economic thing, not a race thing, because we have poor white people, we have poor people of other races, and we get that baby mama situation with every race. So you can't just pinpoint it on, oh, it's a black thing because it's kind of, it's kind of frowned upon. And I feel like a lot of times with things that are negative, they tend to be tied to the black culture, which isn't fair at all.
I feel like things that happen in the black community, like we start trends, whether good or bad, that translate into modern pop culture.
To fashion,
so the term baby moms is something that's kind of came up in the black community, but obviously it happens everywhere. It's not used as a majority.
Amber Rose, first of all respect to her, no shade to her, but I think that she resembles the kind of woman that somebody might refer to as a baby mama, and potentially in a negative way. Let me just. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a potential that she resembles a woman that people might be referred to as a baby mama in a negative way. But she's taken that term, defined it by herself, and decided to put a positive twist on it. And I think, but that's powerful, though. Is what I'm saying.
She's still low. I don't care.
All right.
The black girls accept to be called baby
What
mama.
are you talking about?
No, it's true because it's okay. It's not if even like she said, like Amber Rose calls herself, I'm the baby mama. And it's said in music, mother. And then it's said in music. So even in the black community, when you say baby mama, it's okay. But being like a white woman or a different race, I don't, because even in movies, I've seen movies, and my friend has a cave with a white man, and she would he dared not call her.
What's the name of the movie?
I forgot what it was. Oh. But then she corrected him and said, don't refer me as a baby mother. I'm the mother of your child. And then he respected that, and that was right. But when I just feel like with the white with other races, they don't really take that baby mama thing. It's like they feel like it's very offensive, so they don't even entertain it. But as far as like the black community, it's okay.
It's multiple meanings. The same way the
being a baby mama doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just,
of course,
it's a pejorative.
You are the baby mama, yes.
Honestly, like let's take for example, we've been talking about calling someone a baby mama and all of this, but what about women who are actually having multiple children with multiple men? Like, where do you guys, do you feel like it's majority black or?
Not at all.
It's not.
Definitely not.
I think it's definitely not majority black. I think the difference, the reason why people may think that it's majority black is because I feel like a lot more non-people of color would do the whole abortion thing before someone of color would. Because I think that more black women are afraid of putting themselves in harm's way with abortions and taking, pills that will mess up their internal organs and stuff. And I think a lot of the times it has to do with religious belief too, because a lot of black women feel like taking a life, boom, I'm offending, it's killing a baby. Like that's already against religion, and predominantly in this country, most black women are Christian, right? So you already it's already a cultural difference there, right?
You know what else y'all forget too? You have to understand that majority of the people, I'm just assuming majority of the people who are surrounded by and grew up by are black people. So we understand what is going on in their community and what's happening in their community. I don't really know what's going on inside an Asian community or an Indian community. And like we said earlier, they keep these things to themselves.
You may not as they should.
Put everything on Front Street.
Yeah, we put everything.
Everybody got to know.
And we joke about it. We laugh about it. We make little gestures about it, and everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it.
Some girl get pregnant. He shot the club up on Saturday, 2 weeks or whatever. What?
No, I feel you. But
oh yeah.
Oh, the words.
Some people be shooting up the club.
Shoot the club.
Some people just spray the club up.
Like walk up in there, bang, white bullets.
You know what I'm saying?
Bussin', whatever.
He nutted at her.
Impregnate.
Okay, I think we get it.
I definitely believe that other races go through the same issues that the black community goes through. It's just that they conceal it because of shame, you know what I'm saying? Like they have shame. And the problem with, the black community, sometimes we just put it face front, we laugh about it, we joke about it, we make movies about it. Hell, Tyler Perry made all the stereotype you could think of a black of black people's problem inside a movie, and that's why we have movies like that.
In society, like it's more so like out there that it's like that black rapper, the black athlete, and that person that's having multiple children. I feel like black people have more children in general, and sometimes that would be with different people. I feel like even though like there's a difference between like having kids with someone, being married to someone, having kids with them, going to another relationship and having kids there. That's a different thing. But like, let's say someone can have 10 children and have 5 different baby fathers. Like, I see that more in the black community.
Because you're in the black community. You're in the black community.
I see in the white community.
You're not in the white community.
You're more in the black.
I know that. I get that, but that's what I see.
I'm saying you're gonna more likely see a man with multiple baby
Not
mothers than a woman with multiple baby fathers, because a woman can basically essentially only have one baby per year. So the real issue is when we're gonna get birth control for men. Cause like you got people like
what we need.
You got people like
We need that. We need that.
But even with that point, how like do you think that like young black women who are the ones that are mainly having all these kids, how much sexual education are they getting? What exposure to birth controls are they getting? So when they have these kids, it's just.
But a woman, like I said, when it breaks down to a woman can still only have one child per calendar year. A man can get 100 to 200 women pregnant in 1 year.
1 year.
I think it's also an accountability
At the end of the
thing.
day,
I think it's an accountability thing because again, growing up in Connecticut, what I've been exposed to in certain, Caucasian households, there's a lot of, there's rules and stuff when it comes to like what you can do and what you can't do. And while a lot of the girls that are raised in these homes rebel, whatever, they're still scared shitless to bring a child home
out of wedlock.
Like out of wedlock. That's like they'll get an abortion, they will adoption.
Teen mom. What are you talking
Exactly,
about?
because they have access.
I'm speaking from my experience. I'm not saying all.
When she says teen mom, but then what did they do with teen mom? It's teen mom. They literally glorified what it was about. When has there been a teen mom with all black cast? And how many black young baby mothers do you see?
You got a point.
That's normal.
And very much like, for instance, happens a lot. I wouldn't strike that community, but like the Hispanic community, a lot of times you see a lot of young Spanish women having kids. Like it's almost like a joke, a stereotype to say like Spanish women are somewhat fertile. And it's like I know multiple girls who if their mom had them young and their sister had a kid, they're like, I know this one girl, she went to my boarding school, all 3 sisters, they all have 2 kids. The mom had the thing, and it becomes okay. If your mom had you at 16 and you were to then around 16 have a child, your mom will be more inclined to relate to you and understand, like, maybe you can make this work, I made it work. And in turn, by doing that, it pushes that forward to the next, the next time, and most people in that situation end up having 2 or 3 lines that have done the same thing, where it was a mother of 16, a mother of 16, a mother of 16.
And they're Hispanic.
And they're Hispanic.
And are the children with the same person?
Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Does that matter?
It does matter because a baby mama is not. A baby mama is. If I'm married, I'm not your baby mama.
My wife is not a baby mama if she's married. If she's married to a husband, then I don't.
Minority because generationally because minorities have always encountered that situation where they had a child young. If they do come home with it, as opposed to maybe like a more economically wealthy family or doing well, they're gonna make certain decisions for that child. Or maybe they had those resources. They might just have those different resources. If you come home and your mom had you when she was 16, she's gonna be like, well, let's see if we can make it work, and then that perpetuates like, okay, the next down the line.
If I was able to do it, you could do it.
Exactly, and it keeps getting passed down and passed down. Most young mothers were raised by a young mother. Like that's
a fact.
That happens more times than not. So it's like.
So would you say that this thing is like mainly rooted
in the
black community?
And because the reason why I brought up the Hispanic thing, I wouldn't say it's necessarily black. I think it's more like an economic standing, minority thing.
Okay, so then with what you're saying, then why is it that we're not seeing any of this? Why are we not hearing about this? Why is it that society has only painted black people and black culture to have all of these things?
It's popular. When Fetty Wap had his 7th kid, it was blowing on Shade Room, it was trending. When Antonio Cromartie, he has like 10 kids, like they blew it up. Like what they did, he does need a vasectomy. And like I said, when it happened with a white family, there's a show to glorify it, Teen Mom. When the other way we look at it, like, yo, why is he having this many kids? Like we have divorce court, we have TV shows like Jerry Springer who do DNA tests like for the drama Maury. Like we live off the entertainment of it. It's entertaining to know like they're doing so bad, and yet they still rather. I'm not saying the child is ever a burnout. I would never want to say that. But to a degree, certain situations you shouldn't bring a child in.
I agree.
But instead of us trying to culture that to stop it, we put it on forefront as an entertainment. And I think that the outside or upper people that look down on us in the country, they look at it like, look, they're doing so bad in this country. They mess up all the time, and they still had the nerve to bring a child in there with no money to provide for that, and they keep doing it.
Not only that,
but you gotta understand something else. Since he said it's entertainment for us, it's also entertainment for them.
Yeah.
It's a big part of entertainment, and you have to understand, black people are like the center. We don't make up the majority.
I don't feel like it's.
Pause real quick. We don't make up the majority of the population in this country, but yet everything we do is on a microscope.
Black women are the most educated group in America. If you go up by ranks, the higher a black woman's degree and the higher she earns, the less that she's likely to have children. It's like almost like
it's an economic thing. It's not a racial thing. It's an economic thing. There's a lot of poor white people that have white, Spanish, whatever nationality that have children. It's an economic thing. It's not
economic, and I think it's educational as well.
Exactly, because if you don't have that, if you don't have that education, that hey, I don't really have it like that, and I'm about to bring another human being into this world, regardless of what color I am. I'm gonna, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna get hard. Let's say you don't want to keep the child, but you don't have insurance. You don't have access to that. Granted, they do have, like programs, but some people, like I said, with the education, they don't know that there's programs out there that, if you don't want to keep a child, you can go about. There's ways about going about it.
Black people are more entertaining. They accept the fact that I want to be a baby mama. It's okay.
What are you talking about?
It's
Milan, that one.
Milan, you just be talking.
I feel like I get what you're saying, but your reasoning is just off. Like
it's off.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that black women want to be baby moms.
The reason I give you the financial reason.
You know what?
Of course, I'm not gonna. Most Africans, most black women like big weddings. So if I'm most of them, I didn't say all of them. Most women, but it's common in the.
It's common everywhere, Milan.
It's common in the black community. To do what?
You're dragging.
I'm not dragging.
It's common everywhere. Watch Bridezilla. You see white women.
I don't want Brazil. I don't want Brazil. So am I
Exactly, because you're in this bubble. You're in a bubble. You're in a bubble in your own little world. Yes, you are. You're in your. No, that's why I'm giving. I'm giving you. No, listen. I'm giving you examples. I'm giving. Exactly.
I just gave an example. And you don't want to listen. So how do I listen?
What is your example? Your example.
I just gave you an example.
Which was?
I'm not repeating myself.
Exactly. So repeat it to everybody else.
No.
Milan, your example was.
Yeah, you shut down.
Now you shut down. I'm shutting you down.
You ain't shutting me down because I'm waiting. We're waiting for your point, but you have no point.
Shut up. Let's not talk.
You telling me to shut up, but here you go. You've even shut your own mouth. Go to them. Milan lives in a bubble because he chooses to see what he wants to see. He's not listening to the facts we're giving him. And when he decides, okay, I'm going to rebuttal something, he's not even giving us a fact. He's just talking. He's just like, oh, well, it looks like, and we're like, but Milan, the statistics are this is this, look at this. It doesn't matter. No, it's still this and this and this. And it's just like, you can't live life like that. You live life, you have to absorb sometimes what people are telling you. And it's only going to benefit you. Like, you can't be closed-minded. You have to open your ears and listen to when people are, feeding you information. Sometimes it's okay to listen.
Your example was someone that is. Your example is someone that is seeking a long-term relationship. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? And is choosing to be with someone in hopes of eventually ending up with that person. Yes. That's not a baby mom. Unless something happens between the time that you guys get married and now she's
still a baby mom. But she's not married to him.
Right, I get it, but it's just a different situation from what we're talking about.
She's still a baby mama though.
Okay.
Okay, here's another point. I feel like historically black women use kids as financial security. I mean, listen, I live in a black community. Let me just say what I see and the things I experience. So you can say what you experience. That's what I experienced. So just
with who?
What?
Who?
Historically, like I look.
When you say historically, we all we.
It's true. Historically, it's always there.
I don't know if he just drank, controversy tea this morning, but he's just been. He made a point that black women. They want to get a check, so that's why they have multiple babies, and it's just like what this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like he just opens his mouth and blurts whatever comes out. You can't. Okay, let's say me and Milan are talking. What is he gonna offer me? If since we love having babies so much, what do you have to offer? You have to have something to offer in order for me to be able to milk you of something.
That's a stereotype. Like let's talk about stereotypical baby moms versus actual baby moms. A baby mom, like legit, a baby mother is someone that you have a child with that you are not committed to. Like you don't marry, but you have a child. You're committed to a child. But like the stereotype is that I'm having this baby with you so that you can pay me child support. Also, I can be like, you need to take care of your child, and that's stuff that we see in movies. Like if you look at that Medea movie with Tiana Taylor, and she's like using that's a stereotype. But an everyday baby mom that has a child, maybe we're dating, we have a child, and we're no longer together. And I don't mean I'm gonna use that baby as a form of currency.
Because 9 times out of 10.
I want to say this.
How many men? No. How many men are really going to be able?
I'm going to let you go after this. Okay. Milan's point, I don't think. Now, that point is definitely not the black phenomenon. Because what you just said was that's a gold digger. And that's everyone. You got to have something to be tracked for.
Honestly, that's what I was about to say. Exactly. I feel like, Milan, that was a reach because at the end of the day, let's really look at baby mother, baby father situations. A lot of in the black community. Okay, cool, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna trap you. What are you really gonna give me? Like a lot of times they get $50 every month. Like, come on.
He was trying to trap them for the relationship.
Or don't get paid at all, and you gotta take them to court. But the point is that even with that point, how is that still proving that it's a black thing?
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
White women do that all the time.
But even if the reason why you have a baby mama is because she wanted to trap you and get money out of you. How is that pointing to this argument? Her reasoning for what, that's still not proving that it's a black thing, even if her reasoning for getting
financial stability. Anybody with a financial stability will have that problem.
If you're going to use that reasoning as well, on top of that, if you want to use that reasoning, women are not the only people that trap men by having babies with them.
So, trap Wendy Williams, you know what I'm saying?
Look. It just doesn't add to the argument.
Yeah, like I'm arguing, like you just,
just
not
feel like
proving
you're always trying to come for black women, and it's just like you gotta relax.
Don't let it look like that. I'm never coming for black women.
But every time.
But it's the topic we're talking about. You guys, I don't know. Like, this is real life. I live in a black community. That's
we
what
all
I
live
see.
in black communities.
Exactly. So I'm saying whatever my experience is different from your experience. I don't hang out around.
Honestly, but it's like you're not even giving. You're not really. It's like sometimes you're not even giving us.
You're not even. You attacking me.
You're not even. You're not listening to me.
Okay, I'm
just
listening to you right now.
It's like sometimes you're not even giving us examples. You've seen. It's like you just making stuff up in your head.
I don't make stuff up.
So like, did you see? Did you like?
Do I have to see?
That's how you.
It happens.
You just. That's what I'm saying. You got to see. It's like historically so. Then that means you saw it, but you didn't. You just made it up in your head.
I didn't make it up in my head. It's happening.
I'm dating somebody right now. He's like. He's famous, and it's like he's talking about, oh, I want to have a kid, and I'm like, you're bugging. I'm not about to be a baby mama. We're not doing that. So for you to say, oh, every black woman wants to.
Did I say every?
You said majority of black women.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
okay, so majority is most.
You're backtracking on your point because you went from financially trying to do it, then to emotionally draining it. And that's what I'm trying to say. In minority communities, most times you might see a woman potentially keep a child to keep the man. Like, and that's a whole separate other thing. They might be doing that to try to keep a relationship. You think a baby's gonna keep him, that's where the phrase comes from.
But that's with
but
every
financially
woman. That's
it's
not
way different.
That's a whole different point.
But my point is that even if
you gotta have something.
Even if you don't want to agree with everybody else and what they're saying, Milan, I'm saying that motive is still not answering the question. Your motive for having being a baby mama or whatever does not still say that black people are more so baby mamas and side chicks. Like that's still not answering that. So that's why I'm saying, like, you can stick with that truth, but like it just does not add to the argument. Oh, like we're not even discussing motives.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's about specifically, does this terminology is baby mama and side chick thing, are baby mamas and side chicks a black thing?
I think it's a black thing, one, because of facts, two, because of society. Like, there's so many songs that talk about baby moms, there's movies that talk about baby moms. Like, the single or broken home is something that's prevalent in the black community because it's what's shown to us. And again, like when you grow up and you're surrounded by all these images that tell you like this is what black is, this is what black culture is, even subconsciously you're gonna like fall victim of it.
I think that the baby mama drama thing is pushed through black media because we make it comedy. Murray Show, we live to see the dad, busting backflips when they say you're not the father, and we also live for him to cry to tears when he figure out that he's been lying to himself and he's actually the father.
We forgot about side chicks.
For me, that's an everybody thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That side chick, that term side chick, I feel like it came from like the hip hop community. You feel me? I feel like it was kind of publicized and glorified a little bit.
So was baby mama.
Yeah, but.
All these terms
the term, it's a black term.
So we can all come to a consensus that it's baby mama, side chick, cool. It's a black terminology. It's used most of the time in the black community, but the roles in themselves are not.
I think we need to switch over to talking about side chicks and how that's something that's across the board. I think first to start that is I feel like most women. Not most women, but most women that complain to be side chicks, the dude gotta have a main chick for you to be a side chick. If he's just dating you with multiple women, that's not at the side. Y'all all on the side. Everybody's
on the sideline.
That's a team.
Everybody's bad.
Everybody's on the
How does the football team?
A side chick is
you gotta find out who the quarterback is.
That's
who the tight end is.
Yeah, like a side chick is. it's like I feel like it be getting loose too much. Like, I want to hit side chicks. He don't got no girlfriend. Y'all just
No. You know what I feel like when people don't. All right, I got you. Hold on. I swap my shirt. All right, cool. All right, let me tell y'all. All right, basically, this is what it is. When a man has multiple women on the side and is not in a relationship, look at it as an empire or as.
What? Empire,
man.
First of all,
like no. Let me rock. Yeah. There's levels. There's levels to it. There's obviously a girl that he takes way more seriously.
Not everybody got a bottom.
All right, there's obviously a girl within the line of women he's dealing with or messing with that he's taking more serious than all of them. So in the case, I could kind of see a girl being like, all right, even though he's not in a relationship, I'm feeling like a side joint right now. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Well, she feel like a side joint and there's no relationship, then she's delusional. But there's side dudes too. It's the same way, but like more side dudes is like this dude is actually on the side. Like she has a whole boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Girls will claim side chick role. He don't got a girlfriend.
Boyfriend. Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to make you understand why she's claiming side chick.
Because she's delusional.
She could think that like, okay, he must be entertained, so that's why he's not giving me his full attention.
Right.
So y'all not addressing the fact that whether or not it's a black thing. You're just looking at
side chick is definitely not just a black.
It's not a black thing.
Because I feel like it's prevalent, but I wouldn't even say that it's usually mostly black women that are side chicks. Not to say that it doesn't happen like that, but it usually might occur where it's like you cheating and like the person knows, and it's usually, I don't really think it's all the time I hear about it, it usually isn't black.
You know why?
A lot of times.
Once again, black people publicize everything. Like a black woman will voice out what another man has done.
Coming to you as a woman is a black woman.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm coming to you as a woman. I don't know who you are.
That's a lie.
I'm coming to you.
Who you are, boo-boo.
347 just text you. I'm coming to you as a woman.
That's a lie.
But I've been dating, what's his name?
Do you think that's a black thing?
Do you think I don't think it's just a black thing.
First of all, we need to make sure that we're separating this to more of a black woman thing to have side pieces, because black men don't cheat.
God bless you.
Okay.
We don't have side women.
I don't know what that is. I don't think we can't cheat, actually.
Are you okay? Like, are you mental?
I want to speak to all Shabazz ex-girlfriends and ask them if he's ever cheated on them. Because not only do, like, everybody cheats. Everybody cheats. Black men cheat. Black men cheat. Stop this stupid thing, this show that you guys are putting on. Black men cheat. Black men cheat. Everybody, repeat after me. Black men cheat.
Black men actually don't cheat. They never cheat. Like, they will play with you, but they will not do anything. So I don't consider that as cheating.
I never heard of black men cheating before. I don't think that's a thing. Like whoever came up with that ideology that black men cheat, it was a myth. Like, black men don't cheat. I'm a black man. I don't cheat. I dated a black man. He never cheated on you. Just believe that.
I have dated a black man, and he doesn't take accountability. He doesn't take accountability. That's why y'all say
you got proof? You got proof?
Absolutely. I've been cheated on twice by black men. What is that? Black is black. Black is black. Black is an overall umbrella encompassing numerous cultures and ethnicities under it, right? Black is referring to a race, a skin color. You trying to argue this with me and you losing, boo? No. Black men are not accountable for what you do. Y'all do.
Y'all tripping.
I think going back to the question, I feel like to be like these terminologies and things are black. Like they're more prevalent in the black community, like the side chick thing, the baby mama thing. Like the baby mama thing, I would say like it's a lot more compact than just being black or white. Side chick, that's everybody. But the baby mama thing specifically, it's like it comes in, like it does race, class comes into it. A lot of education comes into it. And I'm not even saying like that you being a baby mama just means like, yo, the father is just not in their life at all. There's baby mamas and there's baby fathers. Right. You understand what I'm saying? But like, to talk about who's having more of these children, or who's like, where is it being seen the most? That's a different situation. Like, I feel like it's more of a black thing because of the social and economic and educational.
But I guess unless we count Hispanics,
I disagree.
It also depends where you're from. Like, I'm not even talking about from like Africa. I'm talking about like cities, like
Yeah.
certain
Location,
cities.
where you reside.
It's definitely an American thing. It's
definitely
an American thing. I just feel like it's very compact. It's not just American.
I feel like you're kind of like, you know, you're giving your point based off your perception of things, like how Milan, you know, when he's ready, I feel like white women do this or this and this. I think it's just like you have to look at the bigger picture and see things for what they are, not for, you know, like the bubble you're in. Yeah, like your own personal experience. You have to look at everything, not just, okay, well, this is what I'm seeing in my community. So I feel like, you know, it's just black women doing this and what is, you know what I'm saying? You have to, you know, look at the bigger picture, basically.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.
I think during this conversation, it really, you know, it kind of blanked my mind out because we were talking about these single mother households, and I was raised in a single mother household. I shared with you guys that, you know, during my younger years, my dad suffered with addiction, and it really pulled apart family. And, you know, we're talking about baby mamas and all these negative connotations associated with these women, but we forget about the kids. We forget about the woman and everything that she goes through and everything that the kids go through as well. And just listening to like the opinions and like what everyone had to say, it just took me back to those years. It took me back to, you know, the stuff that my mom went through. And, you know, she has 4 of us and she was never at home. She was working like 3 jobs. And it was tough, like being raised by essentially my sisters. And that's just what happened.